Hello everyone, welcome to today's video where we'll take a look at one of the rare instances where a super grandmaster made a very serious mistake in the opening in the ongoing FIDE World Cup 2025. So this was the game played between Wei Yi and Sivian Samuel. So this was the second classical game of round 5 or the pre-quarterfinals. So Wei had the white pieces here and he started the game with e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, knight c3 and knight f6. So here we have the four knights defense, and here we played bishop to b5, bishop b4, castle, castle, and at this point the main line is to go d3, but we went for this line bishop takes c6. Now this is not something new which we is trying to, he has already played this particular line quite a few times before. Black captured back with the d pawn. Here again the main line is to go d3, but we captured the pawn on e5. Again, he has played the same line before. And here the most commonly played move for black is to go rook e8. But Sivian Samuel went for the second choice, which is bishop takes c3, which wins back the pawn instantly. White captured back with the t-pawn. Knight takes e4. Bishop f4. And at this point, we had already played a game against Yu Yangi just a few months back in September, where Yu Yangi played this move bishop to f5 and the game ended in a draw. But here Samuel Sivian tries a different move, which is knight to d6. Now this move has not been played in the database in move number 9, but there are a lot of transpositions where you can see this move being played because knight generally belongs to d6 in this kind of setup. So after knight d6, white played queen f3. So we thought for about 8 minutes and he played this move queen to f3. And we already have this transposition where we have a couple of games in the database where black had tried queen f6 and the other game black had tried rook e8. So both these moves are perfectly fine. But Sivian Samuel, he thinks for about a couple of minutes and then he plays this move bishop f5, which turns out to be a serious mistake. Now what he missed is that the queen and the bishop both are in the same line, so there are possibilities of a discovered attack, and that's what he probably overlooked, and he missed this simple tactic knight takes c6. Now what's happening here is that we have cleared the path for the bishop by moving the knight, capturing the pawn on c6. Now what happens if black captures the knight on c6? So if they capture it back with the pawn, we simply capture the knight on d6 with the bishop, and by doing that we are launching a discovered attack using our queen on the bishop on f5. And also here black is forced to capture the bishop on d6 because the rook on f8 is also under attack. So they could capture with the pawn or with the queen, it doesn't matter because white captures the bishop back on f5 and white is a solid pawn up with no real compensation for black. Instead of this, Samuel Sivian, he thought for about 5 minutes and he played the best response. He played his queen to d7. But after a simple retreat of the knight to d4, here again white is a pawn up and black has no compensation for being a pawn down. The game did go on for about 73 moves because we had to grind it out in the middle game and eventually in the end game. But he did win the game at the end. And this simple opening mistake cost Samuel Sivian the World Cup because the first classical game had ended in a draw, which means he got eliminated from the World Cup because of losing this game. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time with a better video. Please do like, share and subscribe. Thank you.